The largest cake to have ever been constructed was the one they built for Mohegan Sun Casino. The cake was 17 feet tall and weighed more than 15,000 pounds. And that still didn't cut it into this video's picks. Welcome to Top 10 World, and here are the top 10 most expensive wedding cakes. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10, $130,000 cake. The first cake on our list is the Platinum Cake, designed by Novelle, and you won't believe the backstory we have for this one. Now, while some of our other cakes on this list were actually intended for a wedding or a special celebration, the $130,000 cake was solely made for marketing purposes. That's right, Platinum Guild International ordered a plain cake and they draped it with platinum necklaces, rings, brooches, and some other types of jewelry. The reason? They thought that their customers would be attracted by
smashing that like button if you haven't done so already.
But no, they actually thought that the shiny jewelry on the cake would attract customers and they would be drawn to buying more. We don't really know if it worked, but we know that the cake had platinum flakes all over the cake, so pooping gold is finally a thing. Number 9, $850,000 cake. The price jumped pretty damn high with this one, and it's just our second pick. For those of you that don't know, this cake was also created for advertising purposes. The department store Takashima in Osaka, Japan wanted to attract customers to their storefront, so they built a chocolate cake and then gave it a little bling. $850 worth of it to be exact. 100 diamonds covered the chocolate sculpture atop a 14-inch cake, and after the holiday season was over, it was said that these guys actually listed this cake at auction. Let's just hope someone is crazy enough to buy 50 carats worth of diamonds on a damn cake. Number 8, $1.3 million cake. Now, this is a very small cake, but it's very expensive, and we can say that we absolutely love this cake. We know that many wedding cakes are actually big, but this one is small, compact, and elegant. And expensive as hell. It was created for the Dallas Bridal Fair back in 2010, where it was kept on public display so numerous people were seen taking photos of the cake. To transport this little fortune, an armored vehicle along with 24-hour security watch was sent to accompany this red jewel. The edges were covered in luster dust frosting, and there are silver leaf decorations all over the cake. Oh, and there are 240 diamonds on this cake, worth of upwards to $1 million. So yeah. Number 7, $5 million cake. And with this cake, we dive into the bonanza of extravaganza. Why? Because this cake looks like a chocolate mistake that fell into a pit of diamonds tip side down. Now, one jeweler owner in South Africa wanted to create a cake with which he could showcase the riches of the African continent. The cake is fully made up of chocolate and in the shape of an African continent. Nothing special, right? Well, what about the diamond-covered borders in southern parts of the cakey continent covered in just 2,000 of them? This was done in order to symbolize all the diamond mines in South Africa. Just please don't tell us people actually ate those. Number 6, $20 million cake. This is one of the most expensive cakes in the entire world. It was designed and created by Naid Parsa, and the cake set the owner back an eye-popping $20 million. The cake was built so elegantly that you don't even notice all the jewelry and the diamonds placed on top of it. And since the occasion was luxury bridal shower, the fondant and decorations were shaped in the form of a bridal gown that draped over the tiered cake. At the bottom, there was a row of pink roses, and the entire cake is covered in golden flakes. But the tricky part came when the crew had to transport this cake. $20 million worth of jewelry is not something you should take lightly, so 6 bodyguards made sure the cake reached its destination. Presidents don't get that many bodyguards. Number 5, $30 million cake. Buddy Valastro from Cake Boss has made some pretty crazy cakes in his life, but none were as crazy as the $30 million cake he had to build for Devora's Diamond Gala. Buddy had to make this cake on camera and had a security guard breathing down his neck the whole step of the way. This pissed him off actually, but the guy said that he was just doing his job. After all, there were actually $30 million worth of diamonds, rubies, sapphires, necklaces, and much, much more. Now, the cake was nothing special. It was just a plain white cake with some frosting to make the jewelry pop, but it's this simplicity that gave the cake a lot of elegance. And once the cake was done, the security guard helped them load it into the truck and carry it all the way to NYC. Now, he was watching them like a hawk while the guys were cracking jokes about stealing the $30 million. Number 4, $35 million cake. One Sri Lankan pastry chef wanted to make his country proud, so he constructed a cake in the form of a pirate ship, and he had 10 layers, one on top of the other, and each layer had a different taste. The flavors include cinnamon, zucchini, purple yam, coconut chips, as well as pistachio, rosemary, almond cookies, white chocolate, coconut meringue, baked cheese, sweet wineberry, pineapple, walnut, pumpkin, and lemon. Man, that's a lot of sweet. And in the middle was a giant treasure chest filled with some sort of riches. And those blue, green, red, and yellow stones you see around the cake, yeah, those aren't candies. They're actually precious stones, which explains this crazy price tag. Number 3, $52 million cake. The National Gay Wedding Show doesn't spare any expenses when it comes to wedding cakes. The TV show wanted to attract the viewers' attention, so they constructed one of the most expensive cakes in the world. Now, some say this 8-tier cake was nothing special, but all the diamonds atop the cake would disagree. And even though there were so many diamonds on the cake, from a few feet away, you don't see any of them, which is partially the reason why people criticize Jules and Tim Smith, the creators of this cake, for taking so much money for a plain wedding cake. Number 2, $75 million cake. The second most expensive cake is $75 million, then how much does the number 1 pick actually cost? For the answer to that question, you'll have to wait a few seconds. Now, let's talk about Debbie Wingham's runaway cake she built for a birthday engagement for an unknown client. The cake was built for a runway and is 6 feet long, weighs almost half a ton, and is filled with triple Belgium chocolate and chocolate ganache inside. Now, as for the price tag, would you be surprised if we told you the cake has around 4,000 diamonds included in it? We sure were, and many of the people that saw it said that the little dolls were made horribly, but that's what you get when you add diamonds to it. Number 1, Les Novelle. Now, this is what you call a wedding cake. Now, these guys don't charge millions of dollars for their cakes, but they're pretty close to it. Some of these cakes can run for $500,000, but it's worth it. When you see that some of their cakes are 20 feet long, weigh about a ton, now you understand why they're so outlandishly expensive. Now, they're not the most expensive cakes in the world, but they are some of the best looking cakes we have seen so far. Les Novelle is a family-run bakery from Indonesia that has 24 people working 12 hours a day to make these cakes. And because you only pay for the jaw-dropping design, we include them as our number 1 pick. Imagine adding 4,000 diamonds on top of this cake. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, what are the coolest looking wedding cakes you've seen in real life? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.